Welcome to Thrill Seeking Teachers. I'm Dave,
And I'm the one and only Will.
and we are two teachers that love coasters
A lot.
a lot, and we have a hobby. This is ours.
What's
yours?
yours?
Should that be our motto now?
No.
That should be a motto. I like it. Hey everybody, welcome to Thrill Seeking Teachers. I'm Dave.
I'm Will.
And we are two teachers actually, that love roller coasters. Everybody has to have a
lot.
hobby.
I love them a lot, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody has a hobby. What's yours? So, I was thinking about making that a slogan, maybe.
I don't think so.
And that, man, can make it a slogan, whatever. All right, so as you could tell by our shirts, dun 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 dun, we went to New Jersey this past weekend for opening day at Six Flags. This was a last minute thing.
No. Great adventure.
Six Flags Great Adventure. I can't. Oh my goodness.
If they go the route of Cedar Fair,
It'll be Great Adventure.
it'll be Great Adventure soon enough. They're going to start removing the Six Flags name. So that's neither here nor there.
All right, so we decided, okay, last minute, we was gonna go to either Busch Gardens or Six Flags. What was the deciding factor in
Well,
us going to Six Flags?
the deciding factor was the new attraction that recently opened.
Yes, the new attraction,
And,
but also cost. Come on, because Williamsburg, if it's gonna be a pretty penny that you're gonna spend.
It's always a pretty penny, especially if you get the skip the line.
Yeah,
pass at Busch
which we
Gardens,
always get.
which you always get.
So yeah.
It's always worth it though. But yeah,
Oh, our guest came. Up. Our guest came. Let's see if he'll make an appearance. There he is. That's Rico. Ah, he's spoiled. Spoiled little dog there. How you doing? Oh, okay.
but anyways, we made an impromptu, unscheduled visit. We both wanted to get our coaster season started with a bang, although we already did technically get to start it with a bang with a visit to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. But we did want to check out the new attraction, Flash Vertical Velocity, which is a Vekoma super boomerang. Vekoma it's a tried and true manufacturer, very old. It's up there with B&M as far as its throughput and the amount of attractions that are proliferated throughout parks, not only in the U.S. but abroad. However, in the U.S., most of the Vekomas that we have are old school Vekomas, like the old school shuttle looper Vekoma boomerangs and the SLCs. You find a Vekoma boomerang or inverted boomerang almost anywhere.
knows
But
everything.
I was super excited about this attraction because it's a modern Vekoma. The only other modern Vekoma we've been on is Big Bear Mountain at Dollar.
Oh yeah. I was like, what Vekoma?
They are introducing two additional modern Vekomas in the U.S. One is slated to open this summer, Siren's Curse at Cedar Point. And the other one is at Codaland. I forget the name of the attraction. But it's also another tilt coaster by Vekoma. So
Okay.
I'm excited that we're getting more new age and modern Vekomas in the U.S. Most of them are abroad.
Wow, such history. So what we did.
Well, it's not history, it's modern.
Oh, well, whatever, modern. All right, so we went to New Jersey. We decided to take a trip. I'll be showing footage as this video goes on. We went and decided just to take a trip, and we got to Six Flags Great Adventure.
Hey, so we are here at Six Flags Great Adventure, one of the Cedar Fair, Six Flags Parks marquee parks. I'm excited about riding a modern Vekoma here in U.S. Also, I'm curious to see how the operation is going to be for the park.
And went in And the first thing that you see when you go to that park is the Superman, and then over across from it you see the Flash, the new Vekoma coaster, the one that everybody is talking about. So we was like, okay, let's make a beeline right there. We got our skip the line ultimate passes. We was like, we're gonna go. But one thing that we noticed is that we didn't see any trains going. So we was like, something was a little off.
Well, we were initially told that it was closed at the time for a pass holder event, which did happen. They did have a pass holder event earlier in the day, but it was delayed because the attraction kept.
Well, that's the big thing that everybody is talking about.
It malfunctioned all
the whole entire day.
The entire day.
But so, you know, we got our ultimate passes. We saw that no train was going. So we was like, okay, let's go to something that's tried and true that we really love. You know, we know King Ka is not there anymore. So we went over to El Toro. We're here at El Toro. Ready for the ride? We started with El Toro. And we went there, and El Toro is what?
It's an Intamin prefabricated wood coaster.
Yeah, one of the best, actually. Elite coaster.
It's a world class.
It's a really great ride. Only one problem. It always running one train.
It was running one train. The last time we were there, the previous time.
Anytime I can remember.
Anytime we've ever been, it's
always one train.
Can you all put in the comments the last time you saw El Toro running 2 or 3 trains? I know that the retracking might have something to do with it, but just
even without the retracking from the past years, like I've never seen.
Well, retracking projects take several years,
but
so it could have something to do with it. So put in the comments if you are aware of anything going on with El Toro besides the retracking that could limit the amount of cars that trains that the structure can handle at this time. Because the past few years has been one train.
It makes the line super, super slow. And it's crazy because you pay for these ultimate passes thinking that this is going to really help you skip the line, which it essentially did. I mean, but for the value.
Our 25 minutes meant someone else's hour.
Maybe. Yeah, yes. I mean, and it does reduce, but when you pay that much, you think that you're getting really premium access, you're getting more of a priority than it actually is, especially when their operations are abysmal. And so I would just challenge for Great Adventure to really start figuring out how to do something with El Toro so that they can start having more than just one train operations.
I think they are. I think that's the goal.
Coming. Ultimately that's the goal.
And I think that,
especially with the merger.
Yeah. But I also think that the project has something to do with that. Mention in the comments if you agree with the current state of El Toro. Probably has something to do with the large retracting project that they're saying is going to take several years to complete.
Well, we finally got on the ride, and yes, it was awesome. We were in the back row, always back row, back row, please, El Toro.
Most coasters back row.
Perfect. So after that, we went over and said, okay, they have to have opened it to the public, and coincidentally, they did. So we made a beeline right over to the Flash. All right, this is the Flash. The new ride at Great Adventure. We're here. And
3-hour wait.
Hopefully 1 hour wait.
We were on my bike. It broke down each time.
Welcome.
Zero to start. Let's wash your hands and stuff. Hey, why not you all? I'm telling.
And then we got into line and how was it? It's good. Yeah. Okay, not worth the 3 hours. How was the ride?
Kind of stuff.
See, you hear the launch mechanism?
Yeah.
3 seconds. That's longer than Goliath. Wow.
How was it? How was it? How was it? How was it?
It's worth it, man. It ain't better than Jersey Devil, but it's worth it.
Okay. How was it? How was it? We got some reactions, and I'm gonna show you some clips. There was, we saw basically the Vekoma coaster first, and it's a world-class ride. I do have to say, and the 0G stalls, like the 3 seconds each way. It is a great ride. It's the
random
idea.
The pops of airtime that it has.
Yes, the
I
idea.
was surprised.
And the idea of the ride
surprised.
is awesome. So you got a lot of mixed reactions to the ride. You know, there was a lot of people was like, yeah, this is really, really great. But then there's a lot of people who were like, kind of like, great, but it wasn't worth it because
they waited 4 to 6 hours in many instances.
GPs, and for people not in the coaster community, GP stands for
General Public.
So the general public, if they didn't have the ultimate passes or reserved lines, they had to wait like 3-4 hours, in some cases 5 to 6 hours, because the ride kept breaking down all the time. Like they'll have 2 good rides and then it breaks down. Then what ends up happening with and I want you to explain this because you know this more so than anybody, with a shuttle track, it's literally one train operation. And if something is to go wrong, they have to rerun that ride empty at least 3 times.
That's any roller coaster.
Right, before they can let somebody on. And so it's a ride where, and you said that the coaster community was talking about this.
Yeah, I'd seen a couple of YouTubers, TikTokers that are part of the community talking about or asking the question, is this attraction a good fit for Great Adventure? We're talking about a park that has a couple of million visitors every year. It's definitely not the most in the region, but it's up there with its annual visitors. And one of the things that I was saying was the throughput of a ride like this. You would think a park like Great Adventure, they would get a capacity machine, and it's basically a boomerang, but just bigger and more modern. What is this?
So it says Great Adventure draws an average around 2.8 million guests per year. Just looked at it right now. So the attendance is pretty huge for this flagship park.
So that's thousands of people per day.
Yeah.
Maybe tens of thousands of people per day.
And when we counted, it looks like there's about 24 actual people that could fit on at a time. So imagine having to do that where you average probably around 20,000 people a day.
How long would you say the ride was?
The ride was about, I would say about 30 seconds. Yeah,
it was less than a minute.
It was less than a minute, but doing that with one train, making and hoping that one train does not break down at all, running it is kind of a hard ask, and so we were thinking, and the coaster community is thinking, if this is the kind of ride that should be at this kind of a park. And maybe a park.
I mean, you can argue, there's amusement parks all over the country that have old Vekoma boomerangs. Well, they have the smaller version of Vekoma boomerangs and bigger supporting coasters. And those rides are so old that, they barely get lines anymore, so it doesn't even matter. We're talking about a
brand new,
modern age Vekoma.
That everybody's going to want to go
Yeah,
on.
there's nothing else like it right now in the Americas, period.
Right.
No place else.
So people are going to flock there, and you have to think that one train has to be so pristine that it doesn't break down at all. To make sure that everybody could get on in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
It's a hard ask.
Yeah. I think this attraction is going to have lines for the foreseeable future. What do you think?
Yeah, I
for
definitely.
the foreseeable future.
But that day, it was really bad. It was breaking down. And so by the time we got up there, it broke down so much that we said, okay, we've had enough. We can't take this anymore.
We went and got on some more rides.
Well, we did, but first I was kind of PO'd. And so I was upset. So I went out of the line and I tried to find the first kind of official looking person around to see about getting, our Flash Pass money back, because I was ready to go. To be honest, I was ready to go right then and there because I was so pissed off. And
the people we were standing in line with, it didn't help either.
Yes.
We don't want to go there.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. But I went and saw, somebody looking official. I was like, hey, can we go and get our Flash Pass money back? And then I looked at his name tag and it says president. I was like, are you the park president? And it was Brian, the park president of Six Flags, was there. And I was kind of like, ooh. Hey, say hey,
hello,
President.
hello.
Thank
Hey,
you.
buddy,
Thank you for the day. And you're getting us a refund and everything.
Whenever would you like to go on a ride?
We will. Yes, please. Can we do that? Because I was kind of complaining. I was like PO'd, and I was like, oh, wait, okay. And he was very, very apologetic. And what was crazy, and you're going to see this, I'm going to kind of cut away when we get to this part, but we ended up having an interview with him, and he was so gracious.
Multi-launch for 2026. Would it happen to be mock, or you can't spill the tea?
Unfortunately, I can't spill the
course
tea.
not.
However, the company, it's part of the $1 billion commitment to the company to over the next 2 years, right?
Okay.
Over the 42 parks, and we have our information. We'll announce this summer, so we'll let you know for sure this summer.
Okay.
But we're definitely excited because the company's got a lot of plans and a lot of investment plans, especially for our property here in our complex.
As far as the lineup here, would you say it would be a comparable match to what King Dakar was?
I know the excitement behind the product that we're going to talk about this summer. Well, I think it's going to be exciting. Everybody's going to be really excited about it. So
okay.
I can't divulge.
I know.
But I
You
know
can't
our
give any
marketing team
Easter eggs.
will be talking about it
We'll
this
try
summer.
to be back for Media Day.
Okay.
Well, yes, exactly. And so, that was a kind of a little light.
Had to get the tea. I mean, what enthusiast is not going to get an opportunity to talk with the president of a park and try to get some information on upcoming attractions? We know that the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation has about $2 billion investment, and we know for a fact that next year they are getting a major roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. We just don't know the manufacturer. We
Not
just
yet.
don't know the type. So, of course, I wanted to get the scoop.
Right. So, he ended up walking us over to guest relations. It was really cool. He gave us extra Flash kind of passes. So it gave us just like more. It was just. You got this.
You keep asking me all these questions.
I'm just curious.
This summer, we'll a few months away, we'll start talking about exact plans.
Okay.
And you'll also reveal like the manufacturer,
Absolutely.
the layout,
Absolutely.
maybe.
Absolutely. That's the plan.
Where is it? Where's the ground? Where's it? Oh.
In the general vicinity.
General vicinity. Oh, let's do it.
Well, the Green Lantern.
It's like, because once he found out we were kind of coaster enthusiasts, you know, he was like, oh, and then we dropped the name of MCN, Melanin Coaster Network.
Oh yeah, they were just here.
They were just here. So be a part of a coaster club. And so we ended up getting some extra passes. He was really gracious. And then he said, come back here after you finish riding some more rides because I'm going to make sure you guys get on this ride. And so that was really, really cool. And so,
well, we misinterpreted that. We actually went through the Flash Pass line instead of where we were supposed to go through, which was the exit.
Yeah, that was another issue. But then we went over to some other rides. We of course got on the tried and true B&M Hypercoaster Nitro.
Great.
Right. And so, you know, while everything was breaking down over in the Flash, Nitro was steadily running.
And that thing is over 20 years old.
That thing was steadily. It was like Old Faithful. It was like Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Like it just, every time we looked up, it was just another train going up, another train going up the whole day. The whole day. Nothing happened. I don't like that thing runs like a well-oiled machine.
I mean, yeah, it has its breakdowns, but
Rare, come on, that was the whole day.
Well, Nitro was closed like half the season 2 years ago because they had to get a new lift.
Whatever they did with it, it is running like nothing ever happened ever. So it was just so refreshing.
I mean, and you know that's why parks tend to gravitate towards B&M. You know, your average park, if you go to an amusement park or a theme park and they have a B&M, 8 to 9 times out of 10, it's usually going to be running the entire day.
Yeah. It was so good. And just getting on that ride, it was so awesome. We was having a little discussion. We was like, Diamondback or Nitro?
Diamondback.
I do love Diamondback. But Nitro was actually, I was surprised. I was like, ooh, it did have I guess maybe because we were riding in the very back and we just had a very awesome experience on that. It was just absolutely mind-blowing. I guess because we were so upset about Flash, maybe, I don't know, I had a little bit of envy and maybe, I don't know, but Nitro was kind of getting up there for me.
Nitro's a great ride.
It was a great ride,
very
man.
Enjoyable. The finale with all of the bunny hills.
Oh, bunny hills was so good. The helixes, the
upward helix.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I feel like that's on another hyper. I don't remember which one. Maybe Raging Bull.
Okay.
There's like a helix.
Yeah, that was really nice. It was just, it was well run. It was well run. Look, the puppy. So look. Anyway, so. After that great ride, we decided to go on Jersey Devil by RMC. I got it right this time.
It's an RMC single rail.
Single rail. Yeah, man.
It's great, but it's not as great as Wonder Woman at Six Flags Fiesta.
Okay. Yeah. I still think Wonder Woman, Six Flags Fiesta Texas.
As far as RMC single rails, that one takes the cake.
That one was ridiculous.
Yeah, that one takes
that
the
one
cake.
was ridiculous.
It's relentless.
It was, but I actually got to ride on the front of this Jersey Devil, and that was actually a different experience. Really seeing everything and just like seeing it like with no obstruction. Oh, it was really nice. But I do have to say the Wonder Woman at Fiesta Texas does take the cake.
It takes the cake.
But this one was absolutely world class.
I don't feel like RMC makes a bad ride, to be honest.
I don't think so either. I don't know.
I haven't been on one.
I don't know. Maybe there might be.
I mean, many people say New Texas Giant, but I haven't ridden that one.
Oh, where is that?
It's Six Flags Over Texas.
Oh, yeah. I need to go there.
It's the original RMC.
Oh, I need to go there.
2011.
I need to go there. But, yeah, so after we did that, had some great times, we decided the park was getting ready to close. We had to go in line for the Flash. We had to, no matter how long it took, we had to ride it. Had to. So we went into line. We were supposed to go through the exit. The directions that they told us was to go through the exit.
Park closed at 7. What time would you say we entered the line?
We entered the line around 6:50.
6:50.
So it was right before people were closing down. So we were supposed to enter through the exit so we could get right on it, but we didn't hear the directions correctly. So we ended up going through the flash pass. It broke down again. It broke down.
You want to know something funny? So we actually, when we got on the ride, it went through the entire layout. It came back to the station. It broke down with us sitting on the car. So
even the president at that point, because the president was there, he was just throwing his hands up in the air like he was. I think he is probably on the phone with corporate, like fuming. He had to keep a smile on his face because of the public, but.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure most of the people that are going to be watching this are enthusiasts, but for those of you that are not, roller coasters are multi-million. And I'm not talking about roller coasters at like a county fair.
Mm-hmm. No.
I'm talking about
these real ones
at established theme and amusement parks that have and make money. Mm-hmm. Roller coasters are multi-million-dollar investments, and this attraction costs anywhere between $3 to $10 million at least, and it's just to have that on your opening day. If I were the park president, I would be beside myself. So it's unfortunate because it would, like, once we actually got on the ride and rode it, it had some great elements. It was great fun. Would I list it in my top 10 of all of my coasters? No. Mm-hmm. Would I list it in the top for the park? Considering what they already have, maybe. Because I feel like after the top 5 at that park, the lineup starts to dwindle. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of their B&M Flyer. I like their B&M Floorless.
Yeah,
their mine train is fun. Okay, maybe. Okay, so
they got some.
They have a pretty
the only thing I really just hate, absolutely despise, is that Superman ride. I just really want it gone.
It ain't Tatsu.
I want it gone, and I want it gone yesterday.
That's the only one to me. That's the only B&M Flyer that rides like a family coaster to me.
I can't stand it.
That pretzel loop was even tame.
Everything was it was just the weakest ride I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
But we finally got to ride the Flash, and I want you to tell me how you felt about the Zero G stall. That
I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed this coaster. I think it would have been a better fit at a smaller park, like
the one with Air Force One.
No, let's talk about the Six Flags parks that have not had any investment whatsoever.
Six Flags America.
Six Flags America.
We're right in our backyard.
Michigan's Adventure, Frontier City.
Yeah.
These Six Flags parks that could have used this type of attraction, and then they put it at one of the biggest parks. I don't think I like it. I like the layout. I like the elements. It's the longest. It's the longest Zero G stall I've ever experienced.
Yes,
3 seconds. But I don't think
forward and backward.
Yeah, I just don't think this attraction is a good fit for Six Flags Great Adventure.
Yeah,
but, I mean, time will tell. I could be wrong.
I mean, just think of what it is in the first place. Again, 24 people, and remember, they can't just switch a train in 5 seconds if something was to happen to that one train. They can't just do it because they have to take the whole train off of the track, put a whole nother train on. That's going to take time. So you have to understand that this one train that carries 24 people has to go the entire day. Average people in the park could be about 30,000 people. People coming from all over the world just to ride that because it's the only one in North America. And
now I want to say this. Vekoma is one of those manufacturers that have developed a reputation of reliable, steadfast machines. So I feel like
this is not a good indication.
This could be an anomaly. Because Vekoma's, they're not new. The newest kid on the block is RMC. Vekoma has been out for decades.
But here's the thing. Remember Big Bear Mountain? It was running one train operations because all of a sudden one of the trains overheated. So
Something
and that
like
was
that.
as over that was the newest one, was one of the newest Vekomas. So is it something that's a pattern that we're seeing from Vekoma getting a little sloppy with some of their stuff?
We've only experienced 2 out of all of the modern Vekomas in the world.
Right, but there are not many in the United States anyway.
No.
So
I mean, that's what we have to go by. It was what we've been on in the United States.
So what is?
I mean, we are definitely gonna ride Siren's Curse. At Cedar Point,
and we'll see the test there. On their opening of that ride. What kind of day they will have.
At least that'll be more of a capacity machine that can handle
2 trains.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely 2 trains.
Okay.
Maybe
hopefully
even 3. Who knows? I don't know.
We'll see how that goes. But that was our Six Flags day. When a coaster enthusiast said I had a Six Flags day, you know what that means.
Hopefully that's changing.
The president, Brian, again, who I cannot thank enough, he was so gracious and such an awesome guy. He actually, this is his 2nd year at Six Flags, and he came from Universal.
Yeah.
He came from Universal. So he's there on a mission to change the way things are or has been at Six Flags, which kind of has been a little bit off. And so he's looking to change a lot of things, and it's gonna take time. So I'm affording him grace because he was so apologetic. But if I was just a GP, if I was just a person that paid all this money for my family of 4 to ride this absolutely mind-blowing ride, and I came there and I had to wait 6 hours to ride one ride, that's literally most of the day. Mm-hmm. That's not a good look. And so, for GPs, this opening day was a wash. But hopefully, Brian is going to figure out something with this new ride that's coming up in 2026, whatever it might be. But hopefully we'll get something with a multi-launch and a spinner.
I did ask him, I said, do you think this attraction is going to be a successor to King Dakar or just an addition to your good lineup? And he kind of said something in between.
Yeah.
You'll see what he says.
Yeah, but they're like kings. They're kings of PR runarounds, and so then we're never gonna get the full answer until they make that huge announcement.
And I understand, the trepidation and sharing too much information because these like I said, these are multi-million-dollar investments.
Mm-hmm.
Things change, contracts change, whatever. Whatever the reasons for the secrecy, they all do it. So
yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was our Six Flags
We're
day.
going to be at another Six Flags park. It feels weird saying that.
Yeah, another
King's Dominion.
Right, another Six Flags.
Another Six
Cedar
Flags.
Fair.
No, it's Six Flags.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, another Six Flags park. King's Dominion. Next week.
Cedar Fair.
No,
Remember,
Six Flags is Cedar Fair now.
Oh. Okay, wait.
Cedar Fair no longer exists.
Six Flags. Oh, it's Six Flags. Okay, so they're taking... Okay.
Cedar Fair and Six Flags merged to become the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation.
Oh, okay.
Cedar Fair owns the majority of the company, though.
Okay.
That's why the Cedar Fair executives are running the company, but the name of the company is still
Six Flags. Okay, yeah. So they're taking away the name of
Cedar Fair.
No, they're taking away the name of all the parks that say Six Flags. They're just calling it King's Dominion or Great Adventure.
Maybe.
Oh.
Because that's how Cedar Fair runs things.
Okay.
They don't say Knott's Berry Farm by Cedar Fair.
Yeah.
They just say Knott's Berry Farm. They just say Cedar Point.
So you think they're gonna get rid of it?
I think it would be nice to go the Cedar Fair way with these parks and remove the Six Flags and allow them to just have their own identity.
And their identity.
Like Cedar Fair does.
All right. So I mean,
who knows?
See.
It might come.
So we're going there.
To King's Dominion to try Rapterra.
Yes. Unlimited rides on Rapterra.
Yeah. We're going to be there with MCN. We heard they had a pretty successful debut.
Of course, media day. One day, you know what? The problem is, here's the thing.
This always happens when we at work.
We're always at work during media. We're teachers. You know, they always have media day.
We got leave.
They always have. No, I don't. I don't have that much. I don't have that much leave. All right.
Next time I'm taking leave.
Yeah, but see, you know, they want us to take our leave, you know, to go for these media days. Executives, can y'all please have it media day maybe on a week, Saturday or a Sunday, maybe something? I don't know. Maybe they won't. Whatever. But that is all for thrill-seeking teachers. And please don't forget to like follow, and subscribe. We really do appreciate.
And leave comments. Please.
Yes, comments.
We'd love to hear from you.
We like to hear from you what you would like to hear from us and what you like or disliked about it. Okay, and make sure that you follow because we appreciate all of our followers. Thank you. We're almost at 100. We're almost at 100.
No, we are at 100.
We are?
Yeah.
When?
You should maybe look.
Wait, hold up. We're 2 away.
Okay, I was wrong.
Exactly. We're 2 away from 100 subscribers. And we appreciate every subscriber. Thank you so much. And we will continue to do this thing. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Be a part of Thrill Seeking Teachers. Here we are signing off.
Sayonara.
Hi, Rico. Ow, my knee. Oh.
I think what